All right, y'all. So the other day we talked about how Russell Brand announced that he's going to get baptized. He's going to be a born-again Christian. And I talked about it from the perspective of, I don't know, man, this is kind of weird. Like, you're a grown-ass man, and I can understand somebody being religious from the perspective of, I was raised in this religion. I've always described myself as this religion. I view myself as part of this religion in the same way I view myself as part of wherever I was born, that nationality, right? Somebody said, oh yeah, I'm an American. That means you're born in America. It's just a default, like, you are that thing, right? Plenty of people do that with Christianity or Judaism or Islam or whatever. Yeah, I'm Christian. Well, I don't know. My family was Christian. I was raised Christian. Whatever it might be. Plenty of people do that. I got no issue with that at all. It's just a basic identity thing. Not much thought goes into it, right? But if you're a grown-ass man and you've already been through a spiritual journey or you've developed your beliefs on why the world is the way it is, as a grown-ass man, to now be doing a whole, like, I'm going to be born again and go through all this stuff, usually that only happens with, like, extreme trauma. Somebody goes through extreme trauma, and then they turn to religion. Or it's just like an act, right? It's just an act. Or in the case of Russell, and this is the question I posed to you guys, it's kind of convenient that he used to be viewed as like a left-wing firebrand, and then there was a slow transition, and then as soon as that expose came out, which accused him of all sorts of sexual impropriety, it's almost like he knew at that moment, I have no more left-wing fans, they're all running away from me. And he was already kind of courting a right-wing conspiracy-brained audience. And so this is the final step of, like, I'm going to lean into that now, right? And how I'm going to, hey, I'm Christian. Yeah, I'm with you guys. You know, it smells like that might be what's going on here. So when we first talked about it, I was like, okay, that's interesting. And this is how naive I am, y'all. This is how naive I am. When I saw the video of him talking about, yeah, I'm going to get baptized and all that stuff, I didn't realize he was going to turn it, and I should have realized this. It's going to be a massive show, right? It's going to be a massive show. It's all going to be recorded. It's all going to be, look at me, look at me. And since then, that's exactly what's happened. He's going to, you know, he took pictures or videos or whatever of him going through his fucking baptism thing. And here he is talking about it again. Here's my first week as a Christian. Here's what happened. So let's watch some of this. I got another question for y'all that I'll ask you at the end.
Week one as a Christian has been amazing. The ceremony itself was incredible. I want to thank Bear Grylls and my mate Joe, the two men that stood.
Bear Grylls helped baptize him? The fuck is it? Where's that guy been? Remember when he was outed as a fraud? He does all these, you know, like, I'm lost in the wilderness, but don't worry, I'll get out. I'm an expert. He does that kind of shit, but it was outed that he total fraud and he wasn't even, like, doing the stuff like that other guy. What's that other guy's name who actually does it? Who actually goes out in the middle of nowhere and somehow survives? I'm forgetting the other guy's name. Oh, fuck me. I actually like that guy. Canadian dude. But anyway, Bear Grylls is the fake version of that guy.
Either side of me and flanked me for their baptism itself. It was pretty incredible. There was a ceremony prior, some hymns. Those of you that have been baptized know about it. I did the baptism in the River Thames and in my home, so it was a very, very intimate experience. What I suppose most people will be interested in, other than the crazy detail that my mate Joe, during the ceremony, really injured his foot, and we went straight from the baptism into the necessary Christian life of helping people, going to a hospital, helping an injured man. Like, are there a lot of injuries in baptisms? There's another baptism injury. The ER and A&E departments around the world full of people fresh from baptisms, nursing wounds and injuries. The main thing is that since it, there's been a different connection. Like, do you see what an amazing gift this is? I've heard, because I'm sort of aware of media, even though I don't pay much attention to it for obvious reasons, that some people are, like, kind of cynical about it. And of course, if they could stop people awakening, they would stop people.
Is he talking about me? He might be talking about me. As far as I know, I'm one of the few people who actually talked about this when I was like, I don't know, this is kind of sketchy. Is this like a grift? And he's talking about, I'm trying to stop people from awakening. If he is talking about me, to be fair. Russell, what I'm doing is the exact opposite. I'm trying to get people to be more awake. Part of being awake is realizing that a lot of this stuff that people think is true and base their lives on, it's actually not true. And that's not me making an argument for some sort of, like, hollow, vapid materialism or consumerism. It's more about, like, let's base our lives on things that are real, but also empathy and justice and sympathy and caring for others who are less fortunate and creating systems that give people an equal chance at a decent life. I'm not arguing for people to... Jesus Christ, let's listen to that again.
Do you see what an amazing gift this is? I've heard, because I'm sort of aware of media, even though I don't pay much attention to it for obvious reasons, that some people are, like, kind of cynical about it.
That might be referring to me. That's exactly... I would say I'm skeptical. because I'm not sure if it's a grift because this is your new audience and you're leaning into that, or if you're really going through some sort of religious transition at whatever age he is. What is he? Mid-40s? Low 50s? Something like that? I don't know, man. When you're that old and you're like, I'm going to join this fucking cult, it's a little weird.
Of course, if they could stop people awakening, they would stop people awakening.
No, again, I'm trying to awaken people, not stop people from awakening. I think what you're doing is taking steps backwards.
If they could somehow foreclose against it, prohibit and prevent it. Perhaps this is not unique to Christianity. Maybe if you are awakening in a way that's personal to you, and I'd be really interested in hearing, they would equally oppose that.
No. That's what I want, people to awaken in a way that's personal to them, not to throw their lot in with some ancient-ass bullshit. Like, who are we kidding? And Russell, if you decided at the age you are to jump into Scientology or Mormonism, I'd be saying the same shit. If you decided to jump into Islam, I'd be saying the same shit. Because it's the antithesis of critical thinking, right? I'll throw my lot in with this group. That's not critical thinking. You're not looking for truth. It could be emotional comfort, right? Look, I'll grant him that it's possible that what he's doing is sincere and he's becoming a born-again Christian because he felt the trauma of like when he got called out for all the stuff he allegedly did. That could have been a very traumatic experience for him. I imagine it's an even more traumatic experience for the women that it happened to, if the stories are true, right? But that could have been a traumatic experience for him. And then it's like, okay, I'll wake up. I'm going to wake up and like make myself a better person. I'm going to choose this path to do it. All I can say is, there are ways to do that without throwing your lot in with a bunch of mystical bullshit that's horse crap, right? I called it both bullshit and horse crap in the same sentence. That takes skill, y'all. That takes skill.
It's for people to be controlled, curtailed, contained by their material models.
No, religion curtails and controls people. That's the point. Religion does that. The thing you just signed up for does that. More than being a secularist or an atheist or a humanist or an agnostic. Are you kidding me? Which one is more pro-free thinking? I'll wait.
What they want mostly is for people to be controlled, curtailed, contained by their material models. They don't want people recognizing, oh, my life isn't about me. I've been caught up in an illusion. I've been lost completely in self. And now I must learn to untether myself from the tendrils of selfishness, egotism, and self-centeredness.
Yeah, but your critics aren't arguing for egotism and selfishness and hedonism and all these negative things. Your critics, who am I kidding? Me. I just find it sketchy that you're throwing your lot in with a religion that you're smart enough to know is total bullshit at the age that you are. Right? That's the point. That's the point. Do I want people to be egotistical and selfish and hedonistic? Of course not. I think it's nice to learn that, hey, not everything's about me, and take that perspective in a secular context. Right? Like, you could acknowledge those things while also being secular and not throwing your lot in with a cult.
The Christianity that I'm learning about that is fascinating me is not a precursor to psychiatry. It's a precursor to quantum physics.
I don't think I have to comment on that one, bro. Yeah, Christianity is a precursor to quantum physics. My ass cheeks.
It's a precursor to a way of understanding consciousness, a way of understanding reality very deeply. What is the prima materia? Where did this come from?
It's actually deflecting from reality, and that's the problem with it, right? It's deflecting from reality. If somebody joined Hinduism and is like, I'm doing this because I want to understand reality better, your reaction would be like, you're getting further away from reality. To give yourself a made-up bullshit framework context to view the world through, a lens to view the world through, you're going to look at that and say, that's more misleading. You're not uncovering truth, you're going deeper into bullshit, right? It's the same thing with what you're doing, bro. And again, like I said, I got nothing against people who are religious in most contexts. I do have a problem with all religious fundamentalists and extremists. Absolutely, I do. But casual religious people who just happen to be part of this or that, I got no problem with that. But it's sort of, I said this about politics too. When you look at somebody like Dave Rubin, you look at somebody like Tulsi Gabbard, these are grown-ass people. When they're already grown-ass people, they have what is like a semi-religious transition, except for politics, not for religion. And it's like, hey, you know those 78 things I just believed on the various issues? Now I changed my position on all 78 of the 78 things. As a grown-ass person, I realized I was wrong about literally, absolutely 100% of everything I've ever believed on every political issue. Well, I look at that and I go, I don't think that's sincere. I think you found a lane, and I think you're exploiting that lane, and this is grifting, and you say, hey, I could play this role, and maybe that'll get me a bigger audience, maybe that'll get me more support. This is that in the context of religion, right? I alienated all my left-wing followers, so they're gonzo, so I need a new angle. What's my new angle? I don't know. I'm a born-again Christian. Do I have Christians following me? Right? Okay, great. Yay. Now stay with me, guys. I'm doing the thing that you probably want me to do, right? Is it that? Or is it's either that or it's sincere but really weird. Sincere but really weird. Because here's the debate ending point. Homie, there's over 4,000 religions in existence. Are you telling me you just happened to stumble across the one that is from the society where you were born and raised? That one just happens to be the one that's objectively correct? Right? Like the other 3,999 of them, obviously ridiculous, obviously fake, obviously not true. The one that was around me my whole life that I'm now throwing my lot in with, that my audience happens to fit in with the most, that one's real. And that's why I'm going through this. Really? Really?
Who did this come from? And how are we personally going to overcome it? Let me know in the comments and chat what you feel. Week 1 now, and it's been a beautiful week. Thanks, all of you.
Is it real and weird, or is it a grift, right? Is it real and weird, or is it an angle? He found an angle. The thing I find funny is that there are some Christians in the comments. We can scroll through them for a second. I don't know if they're still there because I read them like yesterday, but we'll see. Some of the Christians were in the comments, and they're rejecting him because to them, they're like, this smells like you're smuggling in a kind of secular spiritualism into Christianity, and I don't like that. So some of the Christians are like, nah, we know who you are. We know what you are. We know you're a mystical type voodoo, occultist type guy, and we're not accepting that, right? And then there's others who are like, welcome, brother. We love you, etc. Here, let's read through some of them here. Somebody puts this you, and it's the allegations that were made against him in the reporting recently. The Christianity that I'm learning about is awakening to consciousness. Russell believes that we are all aspects of the same consciousness having different experiences, and that we are all born with the divine spark from the source, infinite consciousness. Those who do not understand the mechanics of New Age philosophy will not recognize what he's saying, and it's very easy to miss the spiritual origins of his philosophy. It's not from the Bible, but from the occult mystery schools. There you go. See, this is what I was talking about. There's a bunch of Christians who are like, fuck you, not enough, because we know you're more of a spiritual dude, mystical bullshit, than you are actually about Jesus. Let's see. Remember to stay in the Word, read Scripture daily. So there's somebody who's on his side. Spiritual attacks are strongest right at the beginning. Spiritual attacks, please. Quotes the Bible, keep praying the rosary every day. You'll soon realize Catholicism is true. So this is somebody who's like, Christianity's good, but you got to go to Catholicism, bro. You got to go to that particular branch. I can do you special prayer for $100, Jesus Christ. Elon, what's going on with Twitter, bro? Welcome home, brother Russell. I can physically hear the words, but all I understand is name drop, exclusivity, money, humble brag, virtue signal, pity, relatable story, please follow and like. Even people who brand themselves as men of the people can't get away from it because they don't know any better. So this guy is skeptical. Fraud, your time is coming. Watching his entire transformation over the years has actually been a joy. This is somebody who's on his side. He has to be doing a bit. If not, then he's crazier than I thought. Not one mention of Jesus Christ, your savior. Why were you playing with tarot cards the following day? Russell Brand is an occult mystic. See, this is what I'm talking about. The only thing that has changed is he adopts the aesthetic of Christianity now. Hopefully that changes, but right now that's what it is. Okay, so you guys see what I'm talking about. Even the Christians are skeptical of what he's doing, and they're like, are you grifting us? You don't actually believe in this, right? You know. So here I am from an atheistic perspective, an agnostic, secular type perspective, and I'm saying the same thing. Look, it's just very convenient that you managed to go to this group, which you have calculated your audience is mostly in this group. At the same time, you lost most of your left-wing followers, who are more secular, more agnostic and atheistic. It's just very convenient. Now, again, as I said, I'm leaving the door open for the potential that this is a sincere thing. Maybe the trauma from what you went through with all this stuff being exposed made you feel like, fuck, I need something, and you leaned on this. That's very possible. But even if that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and say, I think it's weird. You're a grown man. You know there's not a zombie carpenter who rose from the dead, and you know all those stories are fake, so, like, what are we doing here? Like, if you already know that somebody's smart enough to see that this is bullshit, and then they jump into it, yeah, I'm going to be a little extra critical. And it's not because, like he said, like, I want people to be materialistic and consumerist and empty and all those things. No, I want people to be honest and to see the truth and to build a life philosophy based on the truth, right? You don't need to believe in some fairy tale shit or hop in bed with a cult in order to treat people good and build a genuine society that meets people's needs and gives them a fair chance and takes care of the sick and the poor and the downtrodden. In fact, I'd argue from a secular perspective, you can make an even better argument for those things. You don't need to base it on mystical stuff. So anyway, there you have it. I don't know. Is he going to keep doing this? Are all these videos going to keep dropping, man? All these, like, week 14 as a Christian. It was really lovely. The Blessed Mother, Mary, visited me in my dreams. Like, what are we doing here? Come on, wrap it up. All right, guys, that's the show. I love y'all. Everybody do me a favor. Please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Leave a comment below. You could support the show on Patreon or tip with the thanks button on YouTube. Sign up for Crystal Kyle and Friends because we have Jill Stein on this week. Really looking forward to that. That should be interesting. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.